Welcome everyone to Discover This. Well, today I realized we hadn't really done a music video in quite a while, or a music venue video. So today we're doing one. And today we're going to talk about a venue in San Diego, California. Had quite a history of great rock concerts and a few other things, historical events. We're going to talk about that today. And we're talking about Balboa Stadium, San Diego, California. Maybe you saw some of these shows.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, now in this era of transparency, the Balboa Stadium that we're going to be talking about today was actually demolished back in around 1977 because it didn't meet the earthquake standards at the time, and I'm assuming it was too expensive or they couldn't retrofit it and get it up to grade. So they demolished that stadium and they built a new one right here on the footprint of the old Balboa Stadium. And so while this structure here is different than the one we're talking about today, the dirt's the same underneath. It's right in the same exact footprint. So Balboa Stadium was built in 1914 for the 1915 Panama, California Exposition. It was originally called City Stadium, and it originally held seating for 15,000 people, and that was later upgraded to about 34,000. Over the years, it's held many different kinds of events, from sporting events, football. It was home for the San Diego State Aztecs from 1921 to 1935. It was home of the San Diego Chargers from 1961 through 66, and the Chargers are the ones who added that second deck that increased the seating up to 34,000. Soccer was held here. In fact, Pele played here in 1976, or played a game anyway, or a match, whatever they call it. They had some baseball here, some baseball exhibitions. Ty Cobb, Babe Ruth, Satchel Paige, Lou Gehrig all did their thing here. They've had track and field. They actually had auto racing here, so a little bit of everything. Now, on September 19th, 1919, President Woodrow Wilson gave a speech in front of 50,000 people here at Balboa Stadium. The speech was about the creation of the League of Nations, and it was the first presidential speech to use electronic voice amplification. That system was called the Magnavox moving coil device, and the team that designed it went on to found the Magnavox company, you know, TVs and such. Then on September 21, 1927, Charles Lindbergh made a triumphant return back to San Diego. Remember, his plane, the Spirit of St. Louis, was built here in San Diego, California. And after his flight over the Atlantic and his triumphant return to New York City and a few other places, 60,000 people showed up here at Balboa Stadium to welcome him back. And he did a low flyover of the stadium at 100 feet and then circled the stadium 8 times before landing his plane near the area that is now Lindbergh Field, or San Diego International Airport. He was caravanned back to the stadium where 650 U.S. Marines had to hold the crowd back so Lindbergh could get through. But we're here today to talk about concerts. So let's get to the rock and roll. So the first rock concert held at Balboa Stadium was the Beatles. I mean, go big on your first show, right? So that was August 28th, 1965. And as you can see from the flyer here, a few bands opened, Cannibal and the Headhunters being one of them. But this was the Beatles' only San Diego appearance. And it was quite the spectacle, as all their performances were. From the press conference, a lot of press, a lot of goofy questions, things like that. Police escorts. Backstage, the Beatles were provided, you know, water, soda, sandwiches, and 2 buckets of Kentucky Fried Chicken. So insert your Ringo and drumsticks joke here. Some of the people in the audience, besides thousands of screaming girls, were a local TV host, a guy by the name of Regis Philbin. Went on to fame and fortune. A radio personality and future game show host, Wink Martindale. He was here. and a folk singer by the name of Joan Baez. She was here at the Beatles San Diego show in 1965. Next up were the Doors on July 8th, 1967. About 4,300 fans in attendance, and the Doors played a 45-minute show, playing only 5 songs. Then we had James Brown, August 9th, 1968. Jimi Hendrix, Vanilla Fudge, and Soft Machine on September 3rd, 1968. It's quite a show. July 27, 1969 was Jefferson Airplane, and 10 years after with the great Alvin Lee. October 12, 1969, Country Joe and the Fish with Poco and Chicago. December 21, 1969, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young along with Canned Heat. Now some of these photos here you see were taken by the great Henry Diltz, famous rock photographer. A lot of album covers and just general photography. Great photographer. Next up, on August 13, 1972, there was a benefit show with Chris Christopherson, Rita Coolidge, the Doors, minus Jim Morrison, who had passed away, Canned Heat, Elvin Bishop, and a few others. Chuck Berry played here on September 17, 1972. And then on July 15, 1973, the Doobie Brothers in Chicago, who you can still see playing today, sometimes together even. September 1, 1973, Elton John and Steely Dan played here at Balboa Stadium. Then on September 30th, 1973, Three Dog Night. June 30th, 1974, Rare Earth and War. A month later, July 28th, 1974, Chicago and Santana. Now the Santana show was bootlegged, and you can find it out there on the interweb somewhere. August 16, 1974, Electric Light Orchestra. September 2, 1974, Kool and the Gang. September 7, 1974, Al Green, Sly Stone, Tower of Power, and Canned Heat all performed here at Balboa Stadium. And then a big show, August 10, 1975. Very large crowd for the Beach Boys, Jesse Cullen Young, and Pure Prairie League. I mean, look at the size of that crowd. August 31, 1975 was quite a humdinger. Fleetwood Mac, Loggins and Messina, Lynyrd Skynyrd, and Rod Stewart in the Faces. What a lineup. Here's a number of photos from that show. Chicago, War, and Poco played here on September 14th, 1975. How about a true California show? September 27, 1975. Linda Ronstadt with the Eagles and Jackson Browne. October 12, 1975, the Allman Brothers Band, Marshall Tucker Band, and the Outlaws. July 18, 1976, how about this one? Yes, Peter Frampton, Gentle Giant, and Gary Wright. The Yes show was actually bootlegged also, and you can find that one out on the interweb somewhere. August 9th, 1976, ZZ Top. August 16, 1976, Robin Trower, Jethro Tull, and Rory Gallagher. Aerosmith played here on September 11, 1976. And one of the last shows, if not the last show, January 2, 1978, the Eagles played here at Balboa Stadium. And after the Eagles show, I believe that's when it was demolished. So I think I said 1977 earlier, but 77, 78, but the Eagles played here January 2, 1978. So I think it was demolished after that, and this new one here was rebuilt, like I said, on the same footprint. This one only holds about 3,000 people as opposed to the original 15,000, and when it was up to 34,000. But Balboa Stadium, quite a lot of concert history here. So that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen, for this video about Balboa Stadium and some of the great concerts that were held here. I don't think I got all of them, but enough to wet your whistle, hopefully. And as with all our other concert videos, maybe you didn't get to this venue particularly, but maybe you saw some of these shows somewhere else around the United States or even Europe. These bands toured together in various places, but some great shows here, some great concert history here. Balboa Stadium, San Diego, California. And I thank you for watching. I appreciate you taking the time, and we'll see you on the next Discover This.